It's time to stop putting things off and to get into action. And today I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to help you take action and pursue the things you know you should be doing in your life to get to where you want to be, but you're not doing it because of procrastination. You're stuck, you're stagnant, you're not moving forward. Let's make a change to this once and for all. I'm going to explain to you why this is happening and how to free yourself from that to get you into action. Now, let's say there's something in your life you want to change. Maybe it's getting your body in shape. Maybe it's getting your finances in order. Maybe it's starting an online business. Any area of your life you want to change. I'm going to use the example of starting an online business because I help a lot of people start an online business. And right now, there's a lot of opportunity for people looking to work from home and wanting to build an online business for either a side income, full-time income, or to create a level of financial freedom. Now, if you want to start an online business and you know it's going to benefit your life, but you're not doing it, why? Well, first you got to understand what drives human behavior. Human beings are driven by the need to avoid pain and the desire to gain pleasure. We'll do almost anything to avoid pain. And that's what we call procrastination, is that you know that something can benefit you. There's pleasure there in starting a business, the freedom, the lifestyle, what it can give you, but you're held back because the pain is so much greater than what the pleasure provides. You're linking in your mind, there's pain to doing it, that's why you're not doing it. And the human mind is going to do anything to try to avoid that pain. It's going to procrastinate, it's going to put it off, it's going to do things that are a lot more easier, more comfortable, more convenient to avoid enduring that pain. So what is the pain? We got to take a step back. What is the pain that you associate to doing the thing that you know you want to do that would bring a lot of benefit to your life? So starting an online business, just as an example, but I want you to think about something in your life as I go through this process that you want to do, something that you want to, maybe it's cleaning your house, maybe it's doing a renovation, maybe it's doing your homework, a school project, whatever it might be, whatever it is that you're putting off, I want you to think of that and go through this process that I'm going to guide you through. So the pain for a lot of people in starting an online business, well, it's hard. Success is not easy. There's hard work involved in that, and hard work, people associate a lot of pain to that. They want to avoid that. It's much easier to watch YouTube videos. It's much easier to listen to a podcast. It's much easier to watch Netflix. It's more comfortable. It's more safe. Doesn't require any work. You can be passive. You don't have to be active. You don't have to take any risk. And you get a lot of pleasure just by sitting there and watching a video like this, learning about business, learning about marketing, learning about how to change your life. You get a sense of progress. You get some pleasure from that. You feel good, but it doesn't really change your life, right? It's just an illusion that you're falling into. So it's hard work. There's pain involved in work. It's going to require time. There's no short-term benefit you really get besides the pride of taking work and being in action. It's a long-term journey. It's going to take you a few months to get your business up and running and to figure everything out before it eventually starts paying off for you. It's like planting a seed, but you're not going to see that seed sprout into anything for several months. And so you're going to have to invest a lot of time and not see a reward, and that is painful for a lot of people. They want things short term. They wanted it yesterday. They want the magic bullet, the magic pill, right? And so a lot of people in our society, we're not willing to endure the long-term process to gain those rewards. We're looking for the short-term pleasure, which sugar and junk food and YouTube videos and social media, all of these things provide for us in the short term, but doesn't lead to anything lasting in our life. Well, how about the risk associated? You can lose money. Yeah, you might have to invest some money into a course, a training program. And what if it doesn't work? What if I put in my time and put in my money and I go through the course and it doesn't get me results? What's that going to mean? Well, in your mind, you might make it mean that you're a failure, that you're not good enough. And maybe there was a time that we've all had, I think, when we were a kid in our past, where we did something, whether it's in a school project, our homework, something with our parents, and it wasn't quite good enough. And we got a bad grade, we got ignored, we got yelled at, we got criticized in one shape or form. And even though we tried, we got pain in exchange for that. And then in our brain, that created trauma that prevents us from taking action because of the pain that we're still holding on to from our past. Okay, so there's pain associated that you could lose something, or it might mean that you're not good enough or that you're a failure. So I could go on, but there's likely a whole stack of things that if you're honest with yourself is pain that is preventing you from moving forward and taking action. So for you, whatever it is, maybe it's an online business, what's the pain? What are those reasons of why you're not doing it? Okay? Make a list of that and get it out of your mind and be honest with yourself and list out, these are all the things that I associate pain to doing this. And it's the reason why you're not doing it. Okay? Maybe it's complex. Or maybe it's overwhelming. I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to figure things out. I don't, know how to do everything. It's too complex and too intimidating for me to do it. And I'm going to have to learn it. I'm going to have to spend time learning it and maybe even make some mistakes to figure it out or get, the courses and the training and the help that I need to do it. Okay? So that's all pain that people associate. Now, on the other hand, there is pleasure. And that's why you're even considering whatever it is in the first place. Okay? If it's starting an online business, the reason why that desire is even in your mind, or changing your body, or attracting a great man or woman, amazing relationship, or taking your relationship, your marriage to a new level, whatever that is, you desire that because you do link pleasure to it. So we also have to look to and reinforce pleasure. Okay, let's look at that side of things as well. Right now, we're just doing an assessment. When you look at starting an online business, or whatever it is for you, what's the pleasure and the benefit that it can give you in your life? That if you do build it, if you do pursue it, if you do get that result, how will your life be better? What's that pleasure that you'll get? Well, starting an online business, a big one for a lot of people is freedom. Wow, you know what? I can make passive income, money while I sleep. I could set something up once, and yes, even though it takes a few months and time and risk to do it, but once it's set up and it's running, it's more hands-off, and I got money coming in on autopilot. That's pretty cool. I don't know anyone that doesn't desire that benefit that can change your life. Or how about the freedom just to do what you want when you want? Maybe it's the freedom to travel. Or maybe it's to spend more time with your family and friends and loved ones. Maybe right now you've got a job that prevents you from doing that. You have to work all day long and you can't spend time with your kids or with your family and loved ones. And you're missing out on a lot of things that you want to do and experience in this life. Maybe a big one is money, right? Or maybe getting rich, where you want to have the money to do what you want. You want to have the money that if you want to buy a new car, you can buy a new car. If you want to buy your dream house, you can buy your dream house. If you want to give to someone else, you can give to someone else. You don't have to worry about money anymore, and you can have peace of mind around that. So maybe another one could be even security. Especially at a time like this where money's tight for a lot of people and they've seen the level of risk that's even involved in having a job. You can lose your job just like that, versus having your own business and having a lot of money is going to provide a level of security for you. Maybe it's the ability to contribute. A lot of people link a lot of pleasure to that. They're givers. They want to give to the world and live in an abundance and be able to give to causes and charities and be a philanthropist and make a huge difference in other people's lives. Okay, so there's all this pleasure that you're also going to associate to whatever it is you want to do. Write that out and think about it. Now, if there's pleasure on one end of taking action, but there's also pain in, pleasure in taking action, but pain in also taking action as well that you're going to have to endure, the reason why you're not doing it is because this is greater. This here is greater than this. And you have what is called an inner conflict. An inner conflict is when you have this desire, you want to move forward, but you feel stuck. It's almost like your feet are just stuck in the ground and you can't get yourself to move forward. You have these desires and these goals and these dreams and these visions for yourself in your life, but man, it's just too painful to do all of that, and you focus more on the pain than the pleasure that you can get. So anytime there's an inner conflict like that, someone's going to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. Okay, I'm going to start my business. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to get out there and pursue this. I'm going to get started. They plan around it and they take a step forward, but they take a step right back to where they were, and they're stuck in analysis paralysis. They're stagnant. They get no momentum. They don't take any action. How do you change this? How do we get you into action despite of this and overcome and trick your brain to getting you to do it no matter what? Here's how it has to happen. You have to start linking in your mind You have to link in your mind more pain to not doing it than doing it. More pain to not doing it than doing it. One of my mentors, Jim Rohn, said there's two pains of life. There's a pain of discipline and there's a pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. So yes, there is pain in discipline, but there's a greater pain that you're going to endure if you don't go through that pain. The pain of regret. The pain of settling in your life. 5, 10 years from now, looking back and realizing, man, I didn't go for it. My life's the same. I've settled. I've got a job that's okay, but I didn't maximize my potential in life. And that's going to create pain for you. Or the pain of being in a situation where you don't like the amount of money that you see in your bank account. You don't have enough money to survive. You don't have enough money to pursue opportunities. You're always missing out. You don't have the money to enjoy what life has to offer, the freedoms of life, to travel, to do what you want when you want. That is pain. And that pain can be useful. It can be your friend in driving you to overcome all of this short-term pain to get to the long-term pleasure. So pain can become your friend. You've got to use it though. You have to use it to your advantage. So ask yourself this: what's the consequence if I don't do this? What's the consequence if I don't do this? What will this cost me in my life if I don't start my online business? If I don't go for it 100% and take advantage of this? Let's make a list of that. So I'm going to just add here. So the pain of not starting an online business is you're always going to have to work at a job. You're always going to have to work for someone else. A job is an acronym that stands for just over broke. Right? So for a lot of people, they're just over broke. They make just enough money to live paycheck to paycheck and support themselves, but never enough to really enjoy what life has to offer at the maximum experience. So the pain of that is having a job, working for someone else, having someone else tell you what you have to do. You have to go to work at this time and work at this time. You got to work Monday to Friday. You have to work for someone else, and that can be painful, especially. I'm not sure about you. If you want to live your whole life that way, fine. But for some people, for me, that's a lot of pain. That's why I don't have a job. That's why I chose to be an entrepreneur, because the pain of working for someone else, I just can never do that. That's just not how I'm wired. What else? Well, the pain of not doing it is having maybe lack in your life, not really having the amount of money that you desire, not being able to have the freedom. For me, guys, when I was a kid, we didn't have much money at all growing up. In fact, my parents went through a bankruptcy, one of the most painful moments of my life. And I remember Christmas time, birthdays, not getting much, and other kids getting all this and this, and we'd share. And I just always felt a level of scarcity in my life. There was a lot of pain, missing out and kind of feeling left out as a kid. It kind of is a weird thing, but it's just kind of how it is when you're a kid and you compare yourself to other kids. Or other kids being able to play hockey and I couldn't. It's too much of an expensive sport, so I always had to play soccer instead. But the bankruptcy and what we went through, but also the fighting and the arguing in my family between my mom and my mom and my dad was intense. And my mom and dad got divorced when I was 18 years old, which was also a very painful moment of life, and they stayed together way too long for the kids. But I linked in my mind that not having money equaled pain. That's what I linked in my mind, because I saw all the pain of not having money and I associated not having it meant pain. And so I made a commitment in my life that I was never going to bring a child into this world until I was set economically. I never wanted them to go through what I had to go through. I never wanted them to endure that pain. So that was one of the strong drives and reasons for me to work hard and endure all of this so that I could become successful, not have to worry about that. It was to avoid a greater pain that would have been inevitable in my life if I didn't endure this, right? So what's the pain? What's the consequence? Having, a lack of money. Fear of missing out, missing out on all the great opportunities that life can provide. A lack of freedom. Maybe settling in your life. Settling in your life in less than you can know, you can be, do, have, and experience, and just not maxing out your potential. I'm going to stop writing because my writing is getting really messy right now. But what is it for you? What's the cost, man? If it's, building your body, you're not changing it right now, think about the pain of being overweight. the low self-esteem, the low confidence that would have for your life. Think about the pain of getting cancer or heart disease, which 1 in 2 Americans get. If it's not mastering your relationship, think of the pain of going through a divorce, which 1 in 2 married couples do in the United States. And that could even be related to starting an online business, because maybe there's a consequence. Man, if I don't build my online business, I'm not going to have time with my family. I'm not going to have time with my kids. It could lead to a divorce. It could lead to a greater pain because it's preventing you from taking action and enjoying all those other aspects of your life. Maybe your job is preventing you from really mastering your body. Maybe it's preventing you from really mastering your spirituality or other areas of life that are also important to you. When you link in your mind, there's so much pain to not doing it, all of this will disappear and dissipate and go away, because the pain of not doing it will propel you to action. For me, the pain of being broke terrifies me. I'm terrified of being broke. The pain of being in debt. I was once in credit card debt. That pain motivated me. I never again want to be in debt. That's too painful. Motivated me to take action to start a business, right? The pain of just not creating the life I wanted. All of that motivate me and can motivate you as well if you choose to, if you're honest with yourself, because the truth can set you free. So think about the consequence, the cost. Most often that's more than enough. That's more than enough that will get you into action to overcome all of this. When you realize in your mind, especially when you stack it out 5 years, 10 years from now, 10 years from now, what's my life going to be like if I don't build a business? I'm going to have missed out on this golden opportunity that we have right here in front of us to create online success. And 10 years from now, there's going to be more and more people that are making money online and living this laptop lifestyle. And you had that choice right now today to also do it, but you chose not to. You chose to settle and allow your fears to control you. And then you're going to get left behind because everyone else is going to get into it, and more and more people are. It's going to become the new norm, and you're behind the curve. If you had started it today, 10 years from now, you could be one of those people and further ahead that everyone else looks up to and wishes, I wish I started sooner, right? That could be you. So all of that will drive you when you stack it out 5 or 10 years from now, but then also let's build up the pleasure. What's the pleasure that you'll get by doing this? Think of more reasons. The more reasons you have, it's like pouring fuel on the fire, pouring on gasoline, and the fire gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You get momentum. Right now you're not taking action because you barely got a spark going. You got to get the fire going. You got to spark, but let's throw some reasons on that. Let's throw some fuel on the fire to get that flame growing within you, to get you to action and momentum, right? So what are all the pleasure? What are all the benefits? What would your life be like 5 or 10 years from now by doing this? How would it transform your family? Can you imagine 5 or 10 years from now being able to take your family on a trip? And enjoy it and having that free time, or maybe taking 3 months off and traveling a certain part of the world and living that digital nomad laptop lifestyle. Or maybe it's being able to give $50,000 to a charity of your choice. How amazing would that feel? How pleasurable would that feel? Or imagine the person that you'd have to become, the version of yourself that's better than the version right now, the version of you that's confident, that's charismatic, that's a decision maker, that's a leader, that's strong and stable, can withstand any difficulty that arises, that has the resourcefulness, the creativity, the intelligence to make things happen, to turn a dream, an idea into a reality. Imagine that person of who you'd have to become by going through this. If you let this control you and you're just a person, a keyboard jockey that sits around watching Netflix and YouTube videos all day, you don't get shaped into that amazing person that earns and deserves all of that. You just regress backwards further and further into just a lazy person that allows the fear and all this pain to control them and prevent them from doing anything in their life. You become weak. Here you become stronger by enduring all this. So who would you become? How would your relationships transform? What would you now be able to do and enjoy and experience in your life? When you stack the pleasure and you stack the pain of not doing it, I dare you to try this and tell me that you don't get incredibly motivated and get started in doing the thing that you got to do. Okay, try it. Make this list, go through this process that I just shared with you, take out a pen and paper if you need to, and journal and write down those reasons of what's stopping you right now, the pleasure that it will give you by doing it, and to come up with the reasons and realize how how much pain you'll endure in your life by not doing this, and the pleasure you'll truly get over the next 5 or 10, 15, 20 years in your life by doing whatever it is you need to do. You do that, you'll change your life. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up here on YouTube. If you want more videos from me on how to improve your life, how to build an online business, how to live life on your terms, subscribe here to Project Life Mastery, turn on notifications. I'm going to link below for you some resources if you do happen to want to start an online business or you want to check out the courses and the programs I have available. I'm going to link those below for you, or you can go to projectlifemastery.com to learn more. Thank you so much. I wish you well, and make sure you take action on this. You don't just jump to a new video. Take action and do this. Be one of the few who do versus the many that talk and dabble, and it'll change your life. God bless you and take care.